Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. We do have some VeChain news today. This might seem like old news, but they officially inked a deal today. This deal is with Liquefied Natural Gas Management, and the partners are ENN Energy and state-owned Shanghai Gas in China. Now, this partnership has been in the works for a year now, but they finally signed it today, so this is more of a formality. But we're going to talk about what this partnership actually entails, and will it spike transactions on the Vechain mainnet. Now, even if it does spike transactions on the Vechain mainnet, it may not impact price for quite a while because even though if there is a demand for VTOR, you have to remember they've been generating VTOR for like the last year. So they have billions in reserve to give to new partners to get them onto the network. So there probably will not be a giant price pump in the next few days, or at least there may not be. I mean, I'd be really happy if there was, but don't expect one. We can hope it happens, but don't really expect one because they do have a lot of VTOR in reserve, and even if the usage suddenly spikes up, they can actually suffice with their reserve for a while just to get people onto the chain. We just hope that these additions to the VeChain Tor blockchain will eventually squeeze the supply of VTOR, which will actually lead to a rush of buying VET. So this is published by Ledger Insights, and it says, today the Chinese enterprise blockchain company Vechain announced a deal for liquefied natural gas LNG management solution that will leverage the Vechain Tor blockchain. The partners are ENN Energy and state-owned Shanghai Gas. So, more evidence and more confirmation that Vechain does have the blessing of the Chinese government, because all these state-owned enterprises, including state-owned Shanghai Gas now, are actually signing on with Vechain as their supply chain of choice. The project aims to provide a quality assurance process for the different types of natural gas. For example, LNG energy potential is measured as in gross caloric value, GCV, and measurements need to be taken for contaminants such as hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide, which could be poisonous. Data is certified by a third party and uploaded onto the blockchain. Once on the blockchain, the information will be tracked, shared, and traded. The trading exchange is greatgas.cn, which is affiliated with ENN Energy. In the pilot, and they actually did the pilot in August of last year. They've been doing this for a long time. They've been testing, and that's why the deal wasn't inked until basically today. In the pilot, ENN, today being August 14th, sorry, it was actually a few days ago, but August 14th. In the pilot, ENN Energy will be responsible for physical and business aspects of the project, and Vechain is providing blockchain technology and associated software services. So they're using the mainnet, obviously. Shanghai Gas's role is to provide policy guidance and ensure solution adheres to government mandates. Once the project is live, Shanghai Gas will help with national expansion. So they need to go live first, and then they can expand nationally. This is a huge, huge company in China. On the website, Vechain claims to be the world's leading blockchain platform. And this is basically just talking about Vechain, talking about DNV, GL, and all that stuff. But the main partnership is with Shanghai Gas and ENN Energy. And it's quite a big partnership because it is the liquefied natural gas market. In 2018 alone, and talking about China, 240 billion cubic meters of natural gas had been consumed. With China's coal to gas conversion policy and fast-growing economy, we can expect an increased demand for LNG in the years ahead, and Vechain's right in the thick of that. To better serve the enormous Chinese market, ENN Energy Holdings Limited, one of the largest energy service providers in China, has turned to Vechain Tor blockchain for optimal quality control and supply chain management. Nationwide, ENN is operating 187 project cities that cover a connectable urban population of 94.57 million in China. A lot of that is going to be in the Shanghai Pudong area because they're obviously in the Shanghai Pudong area. But since this Vechain does have Chinese state support, as this partnership shows, if this actually proves to be successful, which I believe it will be, this might actually bleed into other energy providers and stuff like that. So this could be much bigger than just Shanghai Gas. But Shanghai Gas serves almost 100 million people in China. That's like almost 1/3 of the population of the United States. And then it talks about how the LNG-based pilot program that was done with Vechain Tor blockchain. And basically, Shanghai Gas accounts for more than 90% of the Shanghai's total gas market. This solution is going to be pretty big, and it is going to result in a lot of TXs. And the interesting thing is that if you look at the Vechain Testnet, um, it's been slowly growing in terms of transactions. And we know the testnet is generally a prelude to the mainnet, so they might be very, very soon onboarding, hopefully within the next month, this Shanghai liquefied natural gas thing onto the VeChain mainnet and then expanding. I don't know if this will be as big as the Walmart thing. I know Shanghai liquefied natural gas is really, really big. I don't know in terms of transactions what it will be, but looking at the transactions on the testnet, we're almost reaching record highs on the testnet. So if it gets transferred onto the mainnet and it goes into production, we might see another spike on the mainnet. If you look at the mainnet transactions right now, it's honestly not very high, and this week is actually fairly low. But it's still in there. Like 2 weeks ago, it was pretty high. Last week wasn't that great, and this week's a little lower. But if we onboard Shanghai Natural Gas and we start seeing TXs, along with Walmart onboarding more product chains, we could see transactions in hopefully solidly in the 20 millions mark in terms of VETHO burn per day. And if we get 20-30 million, we'll get to 20-30 million VETHO burn a day for some of these partnerships. We're definitely going to be headed towards that point where it tips the balance, where there's more VETHO being burned than being generated, and then the ecosystem will somehow have to change, and they'll have to actually kind of push up the price of VeChain because people are going to be needing VeChain Tor, or they're going to have to modify Tor somehow. But eventually, that supply is going to start running dry, and people are going to actually need to start buying VET to actually power their VeChain power solutions, especially the application developers. And that's what I'm really looking towards. Large pools of holding VeChain, so there's less supply and more demand, which will drive the price up. So if I'm looking for price increase, it's probably still at least a couple months down the line for me, unless there's a big announcement which causes a FOMO. Real price increase based on utility, I think, is at least months away, but it's very good progress, especially signing a big partner like Shanghai Energy, which services almost 100 million people in China, should provide for more transactions, should provide for more VETHO burn, and should get us closer to that goal of 30-40 million VETHO burned per day. So that is my report for today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you, and have a nice day, people.